Twiddler is scared, and he's running away. He asks for the special master, but it turns out, without Cannon bending over backwards and providing the Republicans, Trump, and his legal team every single thing that they need, and then inserting things they never asked, they never requested, or even bringing up. Only then can she help them. They picked Dearie because he was a Republican and he hasn't completely gone nuts. He's still a Republican under what they were under George W. Bush. Partisan, would bend over backwards for each other, ignores crimes. However, he's still a judge. And they're demanding the Twiddler team provide even the most basic information. Now, they did go running back to Cannon, whining and complaining. But here's the thing. The Justice Department will only tolerate this so far and so much before Cannon is going to have another appeal on her hands, because her decisions are horrendous. Now, they don't and can't answer what the documents are, or whether there are any documents in there that was planted by the FBI, but it's only a matter of time. Cannon is dragging it out and assuming more and more power for herself. But Trump's guilty, and every single trick to protect him just shows how much of a partisan hack she is. Watch this.
And Andrew Weissman, let me begin with you and where we are with Judge Dearie tonight in his special master handling of this case. It was an interesting sequence of revelations about what happened with trying to obtain a vendor to digitize these records. Now, in your experience with vendors like this coming into criminal cases like this, what is your reaction to what we learned about this tonight?
So, as you said, getting a vendor is usually a non-issue. I think there's something we can take away from this, what seems like a sort of small potatoes kind of thing. I think what Donald Trump is doing is quiet quitting. He brought this case. He realizes he is worse off from having brought this case. And that's because he's an 11th Circuit decision now saying that Judge Cannon was totally wrong and that these classified documents are highly sensitive and it is a crime to possess them and he has no right to them. So he's already worse off because 2 judges he appointed have said this and a 3rd judge to boot. Now he's in front of a really good special master who is requiring him to set out certain things, including, as you said, requiring him to say, are you saying, and you need to say it in an affidavit, that any of these documents are stolen or any of these documents are planted. We need to know specifically what you are saying. And he clearly, from the letter the government submitted, is just not participating in the process. And the government says that in their last paragraph. They say, he's the plaintiff. The plaintiff is usually the one who brings the lawsuit because they want relief. And he obviously doesn't have the temerity, to actually just say, you know what, I'm actually just going to dismiss the case. So I think he's just refusing to participate, which is why you see the government having to obtain the vendor when it was obviously his obligation to do it. So this is really his raising a white flag, but trying not to say it. Which, frankly, I think that explains why we've heard that the main lawyer who he hired is now not working on this, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to work on this either.
Dearie is just asking the basic questions. Trump said there was planted evidence. Trump said it had to do with executive privilege, and he had the right to classified records. But it turns out he can't provide anything in court because the lawyers already know. You do what Trump actually wants, and you go to prison. Cannon went back and tried to take away more power from the special master because he was actually doing it. In the original appointing order, the court directed that the special master shall submit interim reports and recommendations as appropriate. Upon receipt and resolution of any interim reports and recommendations, the court will consider prompt adjustments to the court's orders as necessary. However, the court later struck that language as part of its order implementing an unrelated ruling by the 11th Circuit. As the language quoted above as to the interim reports and adjustments to prior orders is consistent with the 11th Circuit ruling and the efficient administration of the appointing order as amended. The undersigned respectfully recommends that the court issue an order restating that language. That was Dearie telling Cannon that her interference by removing interim reports, which all this would do is speed the process along. Twitler wants to delay, and Cannon, being the partisan hack and having no clue and being completely unqualified for a position, is bending over backwards trying to provide all delay. But the Justice Department will only tolerate her stupidity for so long. They already got part of her order overturned. How much longer can she be this without the Justice Department going over her head?
So if you like those videos, please help. The YouTube algorithm is horribly biased against, progressives. And the Republicans have massive amounts of money just to buy it off. So every time you like, every time you put a comment down below, helps us out. So like, subscribe, and if you really want to help the environment, down below is a link to a GoFundMe page where it has a brand new power generation that is 0% carbon emission and one of the cheapest productions of electricity the world has ever had. So go down, help us out.